If someone looked at you dead in the eyes and told you, do you believe in miniskirt Santa? Most people would say no, and I feel like that's an absolutely fair statement to make. So, well, I don't even know how to begin with this one. Okay, Seishun Buta Yarou wa Santa Claus no Yume o Minai is basically the second season of the series of series of light novels that kind of go in that sort of it's called the Seishun Buta Yarou series. The naming conventions get incredibly weird because again, it's just like, I don't know, because the thing is that we had season 1, we had like 2 or 3 movies, and now we've got season 2, and they're all sort of like chronologically linked. But the thing is, I didn't watch the movies in between. I only watched season 1 when it aired originally, back in like 2018, I want to say. So actually, that's a good question. When did the first season actually air? Odekake Shoujo Minai. Here we go. Oh my god, it was 2018. Jeez. Okay, no, I was not wrong about that. Holy crap. Okay. So, 2018, we get season 2 7 years later. Our main characters are now no longer in high school, but rather they are now in university, getting jobs, talking about stuff, hanging out, and just, I feel like no matter what happens, no matter what stage of life you're in, you're gonna have problems. So let's talk about the show. Starting off with the opening theme, which I think is nice. That's all I have to say. I think that it's just nice. The ending theme, I'm pretty sure oh no, okay. So the ending theme is interesting because we have 3 different ending themes for each of the characters that had this kind of I kind of had the Seishun Kishobo. What was the English translation for that again? Basically had their puberty syndrome. There we go. Because it says there in the description, had their puberty syndromes resolved ? Throughout the series, and so we do focus on these 3 characters that each have their own ending themes. I do think that the ending theme's incredibly solid. I actually really like the ending theme for this season. I do think that it's really good. And of course, like I said, we have 3 main characters that we kind of focus on, that our main character Sakta basically gets kind of involved with in order to try and fix the puberty syndrome problems that they're facing, whether it be the first girl who was constantly getting like these cuts and feeling pain just randomly out of nowhere, whether it's I forgot what the second girl's problem was, because the thing is that it was up to Sakta to figure out what her puberty syndrome problem was, but she also never wanted it fixed to begin with, and I don't think hers ever got fixed now that I'm thinking about it. And then finally, of course, the girl here who we see in sort of like this mini Santa outfit, who kind of rejects her entire existence outside of like this famous persona that she has, ostensibly in order to keep her personal life and her modeling career kind of separated, that she now just completely forgets who she is. And because she's forgotten who she is, other people are forgetting who she is as well. So very much that idea of, if you don't notice something from existing, if you yourself are the creation of something and you never acknowledge the existence of it, then other people will not acknowledge the existence of this other thing that they didn't know never existed, I guess, if that's a way of putting it. I think that that's actually a pretty good... How would I explain this? I think that's actually a pretty cool concept of like, oh, because this thing you don't like, that you are personally invested in, that you will pretend never existed, will continue to never exist if other people never point out or look at it or notice it or pay any attention to it. So I thought that was kind of a cool idea. That being said though, I think all in all, this is still a very interesting show. I just think that it's gonna be a bit too slow for a lot of people, because it does get time to get going. again, it feels like the first two girls were kind of primers for basically like this third girl here who is having her existence basically wiped out. And the fact that, of course, Sakta is the only one that can see him, it's very much like my situation with the bunny outfit and just other junk like that. So I don't know, man. Like, this is actually an interesting show in a couple of different ways, where I can't recommend it to anyone. I feel like people who like their slow burn shows are the ones that are going to be able to appreciate the show the most. And at the same time, it's not the greatest show in the world. Like, again, it's good. The slow burn is a little bit of its downfall. At the same time, it also helps it. So it's a double-edged sword in that case of like, yes, it takes time to get to the good bits, but at the same time, you don't truly feel like you're building up to it necessarily. It feels like there's this thing that exists throughout the entire season, this miniskirt Santa. She's just kind of walking around giving people presents, and those presents happen to be puberty syndrome. So I suppose in a way it does ultimately link up in a sense to the final couple of episodes, but it really depends on how you want to watch the how you want to interpret the show. So I guess it is, again, very interesting in that sense. And I feel like you can't not talk about the show without seeming like as if you're, trying to make things seem deeper than they are, because to some extent, sometimes the show does try to present itself as like, oh, this stuff is actually deeper than you think. And I feel like I can only really talk about things so much before I start circling the drain and making a circular argument where I'm like, this thing because of that thing, but then it comes back around to this thing again, That being said, though, I think that it is a good show. I think that it is entertaining. I do like the character designs. I do like the art direction. I think that the opening theme is a little bit forgettable. I absolutely love the ending theme. I think that the ending theme is bloody brilliant. Sakta, whether you like him as a main character or not, he's still got this sort of deadpan look on his face. But he's I think significantly more likable now that he's got Maya as a girlfriend effectively since earlier events. But I really do want to watch like the movies in between to see how he got from season 1 to season 2, because there were 3 movies in between, which is crazy. And of course, the next series of events is going to be in a movie as well. So I don't know like if this is a good way of presenting this series, but I'm certainly going to sit down and watch the movies to kind of get a better understanding of everything. So as far as my understanding is concerned, which is just season 1, season 2, I think that it's just good at best. And so I'm definitely popping this in at a 7 out of 10 on my anime list. 13 episodes though, that's quite a bit, because a lot of shows are 12 episodes this season. But yeah, with all that being said though, like the video if you liked it, subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you guys think of the series as a whole in the comments below. Feel free to talk about the movies in between season 1 and 2 as well, because I'm sure there's going to be some linking factors between them. But with all of that being said though, like I said, like the video if you liked it, subscribe to the channel. I'm aiming for 500 subs by the end of the year. And with all of that being said, I do upload every day, so I'll see you guys tomorrow.